in this lesson, we will learn how to create a camera rig rail and how to work with the rig rail. Now, what is a rig rail? If you have seen behind the scenes of some movies in the making in Hollywood or Bollywood, so you might see there is a rail like a kind of a train rail, okay? And on that, we have a dolly, and on the dolly, we have the camera. So this dolly is moved on the rail wherever it is going for a very smooth movement. So it is quite heavy, quite professional, and it gives you a really, really good result. So this is how, uh, you will get these moving shots in the movies. So we'll learn how to create this kind of rail inside Unreal Engine. So here we have a scene, and what we just need to do to add a camera rig rail is first of all, we have to find a spot where we want the camera rig rail to be. So let's find a good spot here. I think something like this on the road is a good spot. So here what we can do is that we can add a camera rig rail. So I'll just go to my camera options here. Sorry, the cinematic option. In the cinematic option, I have here camera rig rail, and I will just drag and drop this rig rail wherever I want it to be. So I will drop it here. If I zoom in, so you can see that the rig rail is somewhere here. Now let's move it back here. And by the way, if you are in gaming mode, you cannot see the camera rig rail. So if you press G, it will go away. And if you press G, it will come back. So that means you can only see the camera rig rail if you are out of the gaming mode. So now the camera rig is here. And if you will see that, it's pretty much the same as I showed you here. There is a rail and there is a dolly over here. But the dolly of the Unreal Engine is quite different than what you see there. It's very simple. Okay. So now what do we have here? Let's see. If you will see if you will go to the details, if you select the camera rig and if you go to the details, you have here current position on rail. Now, this is the main thing that controls the camera rig rail. So if I move this, so you will see the rig. This is basically the dolly is actually the rig. So this rig is moving. Okay. So this is what we have in the current position on rail. And this is the important thing. Now, if you will see, there are 2 points, white color squarish points, like one is here and one is at the back. Now, what does this do is if you select any one of these points, it can increase or decrease the length of your rail. So if I will move it quite large, something like this, so you will see that it is mainly increasing the length of this. So if I move this rig, you will notice that now it is moving on the surface here. Now, one more thing, let me show you here is that if I will deselect everything here, and you will notice that there is one point here and there is one point here. But if I move my current position, the rig rail here, let's move this here. If I select this point, the first point, or the end point here, so you will notice it will give you the handles with the bezier corners, just like you have in Illustrator or in Photoshop. Now, what does this do? If I click here, and these are 2 handles. One is the starting handle, one is the ending handle. If I select any one of these handles, and move, it will curve my uh, rig rail. Okay, so the rail, the shape of the rail will be it's kind of reshaping. It's more becoming curved. So this is what this actually do. So for example, if I will take the first one, so it will move accordingly. So I can make it shorter to have a small curve, or I can have it larger, or I can move it wherever I want. I can also move it up or down. Okay, so this is what it can do. Let's undo this right now. And also, if I select this main point, the one that we have here, so this main point, not the handles, I'm not talking about the handles, I'm talking about the main point. If I move the main point up, so you can see the rail is on the ground here, and from here it is kind of elevating upwards. And with this kind of thing, you can make a roller coaster sort of a rail, which in reality is very hard to do, but in the world of Unreal Engine, you can do it easily. Okay. Now, the question is, can it uh, stay the same, or can we curve it? Now, to curve it, basically, if I curve this one with these points here, and then once I have moved the points, and after that, if I try to move this from here, so I want a curve like goes like here and then goes to this corner, like to this point. So I can move this one here, make it more curvy. And then if I will take this point and try to move it, you can see the whole curve is moving. So we need an actual length. Plus, we need a nice sort of a curve here, not an elongated curve. We need a very smooth, nice looking curve here. So the curve, how we can get that curve is by reducing this amount and adding some more points, just like what we do in Photoshop or Illustrator. But issue is that how we can add more points here. So let's see, first let's make a curve that we are looking for. And here I will try to make this one straight. So once we have a basic shape, then we will see how we can add some points here. Now we have a nice looking basic shape here. Now let's see how we can add the points. To add a point, actually what you do is that, first of all, you have to select the main point, which I have already selected. And then we have to duplicate this point. To duplicate the point, you have to press Alt on your keyboard if you're using PC, or Option on your keyboard if you're using Mac. So if I press Alt and move this point, so you will see a copy of that point is moving. Okay. Now, notice that how the shape is changed. The reason because like the shape is changed, that there is a new point here, and the curve that I made is now automatically became shorter because a new length is created. So, and that length pushed these handles to this position. So I have to do this one. Okay. To make it nicer, I have to reshape it by making it more curved. Okay. And also I have to take this one and move it. And this I will take from this end. I will try to make as straight I can do that. and then I can move it forward. So how we can add a point? By taking the existing point, pressing Alt on the keyboard, and then you can add a point. Now at this stage, I just want to make it longer. That means I don't need a point here. But if I want to move to this side, so what I need to do is that I have to go here, press Alt again on my keyboard, and then move this point here. Okay, and then I have to adjust it, because the adjust you have to do manually here inside. Now, to make a smoother animation, always you have to make sure you need a point, nice balance point, which is more of a like kind of a more curved. Because if it is a short curve, just like what we have here, the camera movement will not be that good, because it will have a short turn. But if it have a long turn, then it will have a very nice looking like very smooth, uh you can say, kind of a turn. So let's move this one here, and let's readjust this. So now as we have our rail, so now we will see how we can add a camera to this rail. So first of all, here is our rig. So I have to move the rig all the way back to 0. So I will reset it. So it will go back to where it got started. Now, how we can put the camera on it? To put the camera on this one, we have to take an existing camera first. For example, this is like CineCamera Actor 8. So I will first of all try to adjust this one, okay, uh, like where I want this camera to be, and then I have to attach it on my rig rail. So first of all, wherever I want, I can keep it. It's always better to keep it on the top of your rail, so you exactly know where it should go. So this is what I do actually. I try to put this exactly where I want it to be. Now, taking the camera and then resetting its rotation is also a good idea. And this only I will rotate its angle to 90 degrees. And also I will make this camera around, you can say 12 mm, so that it will become more wide angled. Yeah. Now, ideally, it is on top of the, uh, you can say the rail, the rig itself. Here it is, uh, on top of it. Okay, so this is the camera I have, CineCamera Actor 8, and this is my rig rail. So what I have to do is that I just have to take my camera that I just want to attach to the rig rail. So I will take it and drop it inside the camera rig rail. Once I do that, it will become the child of this camera rig rail. Now, if I will go to the rig rail here, and just notice here you can see the preview here, what happens if I start changing the position on the rig rail. So as I will do that, you can see that the camera itself is moving. Okay. So if I will zoom in, like zoom out a little bit here, so you will notice that how the camera is actually moving here. So if I'll start moving, so you can see the camera is actually moving. But if you will notice, the camera is not rotating as we have the curve. So when we have this curve, the camera is not rotating. It is just moving straight. So for example, we will have a issue once the camera will reach at this stage, because I want it to move, then rotate, keep the camera on this building. So I want it to be oriented to this building. So if I will start moving the camera, so you will notice that as soon it reaches to this point, just notice the camera is still facing here instead of rotating and facing there. So that's one issue we will face here. So to avoid this issue, what we can do is that we can first of all take our rig rail, and inside the rig rail we have this option which is called lock orientation to layer. So once you click on it, you will see that there is a certain like you can say recoil or a movement here. So what is that? That is basically your camera adjusted now to your rig rail, and wherever you will have a curve or a turn, the camera will change its orientation. So let's see, if I start and keep your eye on this preview here, if I will rotate this, so now see, wherever the curve is going, the camera is changing its position to that. So if I will reach somewhere here, just notice that the camera will rotate here uh, on this curve. It will rotate on the curve, and it will keep the eye on this uh, camera. Now, other way we can fix this is that instead of orient to like lock orientation to rail, what we can else do is that we can take the camera, and then we can, for example, I can take the camera here. Let's uncheck this lock orientation to rail, and I can take the camera from here, and then I will go to the look at tracking settings, and in the look at settings I will enable it, and I will choose object, like suppose this one. And when I select this and start moving the rig rail, like current position on rig rail, so the camera will keep its eye on that uh, on that object. Okay, but I have to turn on my lock orientation also, so that it turns as well. So if I now move it, so you can see that it is moving. Okay, let's do one more thing here. There is if I move and stop for a while, okay, you can see that the camera itself changes its direction and points on the object that I selected. So if I move it somewhere here, just see the camera. Here is the camera, and just notice how it changes its like position, like rotation, like its angle. So if I move it somewhere here, so you can see that every time moving, it's forcing its angle to face this. You can say the like the table and the chair, the umbrella, and those things. So this is how you get a kind of a lock result as well here. So I hope you have learned about the rig rail, and we will learn more about the rig rail once we will move to our uh, exercise about the like the sequence, like the cinematic sequence. So we'll learn how we can animate it and how the animation works inside the Unreal Engine using the rig rail. So let's see what's new in the CineCamera rig rail, which was introduced in Unreal Engine 5.3. So I'm using 5.3.2. You can use 5.3 or 5.3.1. So it's a new like rig rail system which is used highly for like cinematic effects. So I created this small scene. I will open this up, and in a moment I will show you how this CineCamera rig rail is different than the normal rig rail. So here you can see my scene is opened, and I downloaded this scene from Epic Games Marketplace. It's a free scene, Salt Flats, you can download. And this model I downloaded from Sketchfab. And let's go inside game mode. You can press G or you can go here. And this model was created by the Carol McClass, and it's from it's on Sketchfab. So you can check on the Sketchfab this model. And here, first of all, what we need to go to the settings, plugins, and we have to activate CineCamera rig rail. So camera, I will type here, camera rig, and I will get CineCamera rigs. I will check on it, and I will press yes, restart. And once it's restarted, it will add a new CineCamera rig rail inside the cinematics. So let it restart. I will go to the content drawer now, then same scene. You can use any scene you want. And here, I don't want to go to the game view, so I will go to the cinematics directly. And here inside the cinematics, you will now notice there is CineCamera rig rail. Now, how this is new. So I will drag and drop it here, and I will place it wherever I want. First of all, you will see there are points. Okay, so these points are shown with the number. Plus, if I press Alt on the keyboard and just move the point, just like what we did with the normal rig rail, you will see it will show you different colors. Now, this is heat map. Wherever there is red, that means the camera will move faster. Wherever there is green, so normal speed. Wherever there is blue, so slow speed. So this is a heat map. So let's complete our rig rail. Okay, so now it is completed. So I will go back to my CineCamera actor, bring it here, and I will place it wherever it's like I want my scene. Okay, so I will just put it wherever I want. And I have also placed the CineCamera actor inside the CineCamera rig rail, just like what we did with the normal camera rig rail. So first I did that, and now I am placing it wherever the scene should be, like where the scene looks good. Now I will go to the lens settings and turn 12 mm of the camera, so I can see most of the part of the car. So it's a wide lens. You can move it, your camera, in a position where your car is completely visible, just like this. However, I want to keep it right over the rig, so I will move it back there. Okay. And now here inside the CineCamera rig rail, you will notice that there are rail controls. I'm using absolute position on rail, which is 1. That means I'm on the 1 point. If I move to the 2, so that means I'm the point 2. So points are shown in the viewport, and whenever I'm increasing this on whatever point I am, like 4, so it will show 4, 5, so it will show 5 there. So it's now more easier. So you can type the points that you want, or you can use the current position on rail part also. Now here there is one more thing, rail spline component. You can press this button and then it will activate point selection. So you can go to next point, previous points, and you can work on these points as you want. And then on any point, you can change the focus of the camera, the point rotation of the camera, focal length of the camera. So whenever the camera reaches to that point, so it will adapt those like changes. So let's go back to our rig rail main and add a sequence here. So I will call this sequencer rail. Now inside the rail, I will add my CineCamera rig rail and my CineCamera actor, both of them here. Okay. Now, to animate the rig rail, it's the same thing. You have to move the rig just like what you did in the normal camera rig rail. But let's first do like manually, and then I will show you what else we have. So I will choose absolute like position here, and I will make a keyframe. You can learn about the sequence whenever you will move to the sequence class. And here I will change to 5. Okay. And then you can see how this is animating. This is the manual animation. Don't worry about the sequencer. So you can go to the sequencer class and you will learn the sequencer class whenever we will move to the sequencer class. Now, you can notice that I have unchecked the use point rotation. Why? So that the camera always points to the direction of the rotation. So you can see that it is pointing on the direction of the rotation. Before it wasn't. So as I uncheck the use point rotation, now it is like pointing there. Now, one more thing we can do here is that you will see that it looks very jittery. So I can go to the camera, and one thing I have already added here for like is called the car track. Car track is like a empty. You can see this car track is an empty actor, which I added from the place actors, and I renamed it to car actor. So I will use the in the camera enable look at tracking, and in the actor to track I will choose that car track actor. Okay. Now what it will do is that the camera, while it is animating, it will keep on looking at that. And now here in the focus mode, also I will change it to tracking, and I will choose like the tracking focus, the same actor, which is the car track. So now when I will play this, so it will keep on looking at the car. But you can see the animation is not that smooth. Now to make it smooth, inside the CineCamera rig rail, there is another new feature called drive mode. Right now it is manual. So what I will do here is that I can go to the duration. So as a longer track you have, based on that track, it will generate the animation by itself automatically. So for this, you can make your you can apply loop over here as well. So it's up to you if you want to apply a loop. Okay. But the duration of your sequencer have to be longer as well, so that otherwise what will happen, it will not render the full thing, because when the duration will stop of that, so it won't happen. Now next is the speed. Now I change it to speed. Now it will become very smooth. Right now the speed I'm using is 100. So 100 speed is quite good. Now if I will change it to 5, that means it will become very slow. You won't notice it is moving because it is super slow. It's very, very slow. Okay. So if I change it to 50, so that means it will be slower but faster than 5, but slower than 100. So you can see smoothly it is moving. So I like speed because speed gives a really good constant smooth speed here. Okay. If I make it 500, it will be too fast and it will not be that smooth. The one that like the smooth, the speed that we're looking for. So 100, 101 is a good speed. Okay. So this is what I like. And based on your duration, your speed, you also have to like change your length of your sequencer. Now I can hide the my camera rig rail. Okay. And also I can go out of the game, like I can go inside the game mode so you can see clearly how this looks. So I hope this new CineCamera rig rail, you liked it. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do it now and don't forget to hit the bell icon. By the way, I have noticed that many of you are watching my videos without subscribing. So let's change that. Subscribe to my channel and be the part of the interactive community. Now, here's something really important I want to talk about. Please do not download my videos. Just watch them online. When you download them, it messes up my watch time hours. And that's a bummer. I want to keep creating awesome videos, but it's demotivating when I lose out on those stats. Thanks a bunch for your support. You guys rock. Catch you all in the next video.